Welcome to Recovery Unleashed, the podcast where we dive deep into transformation, healing, high performance, and recovery. I'm your host, Hannah Dalby. I'm the founder of Recovery Jungle, Recovery Unleashed. I'm an integral alchemist, food coach, a recovery expert, and also a retired professional Muay Thai fighter and current jiu-jitsu lover. In each episode, we explore what it truly takes to break free from addiction, trauma, self-sabotage, and unlocking a life truly filled with energy, success, and peace. Through my very own story of addiction recovery and raw conversations with experts, coaches, athletes, healers, we uncover the tools and mindset shifts needed to master recovery in every area of your life. This isn't just about healing, this is about unleashing your full potential. If you're ready to reclaim your life, tune in, do the work, and let's rise together. Welcome to Recovery Unleashed. In today's podcast, we have Scott, who is the strength coach at Recovery Jungle, which is the amazing recovery center that I run here on the Sunshine Coast. So me and Scott dive into why strength training is important, a little bit of his story, and what real changes we are making for people's lives at Recovery Jungle. You will enjoy it. Hi, Scott.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Very good. How are you?
I'm excellent.
That's good. So, Scott.
Yes.
You are not just our strength coach.
What am I?
Well, I feel like people, they come and they don't even know why I'm sending them to you actually.
Yeah.
But we send them down to start lifting some weights, doing some strength work.
It's a good intro, isn't it?
It's a good intro. Yeah. And I guess kind of by the end of it, they have got a best friend.
Yep.
They've healed their nervous system and probably completely shifted in the way they think about their training.
Well, I think that's a bit of a part and parcel with not just delivering the strength workouts that I do, but I genuinely care about the person I'm looking after at the time. So I do empathise with a lot of people that I train because obviously at the jungle, but having come from where I've come from, I do have a bit of a connection with what it's like to be on the lower and how to rise up against it. So while we get the work done, we sort of tap into the person's, not just history, but how they are as a person. And we try and, elevate them as best as we can, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally. Mentally is the biggest one.
I've watched that in great detail.
Yeah.
Well, in fact, I am very sore today.
I actually.
Courtesy,
yeah,
and I don't know if it's because of you or because I've been back at fight training and holding pads for really massive people because I think I'm a killer and can't breathe.
Well, let's just put it down to both.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yes, interestingly though, I love that you're making me really sore right now and that we're pushing me, but I think it's taken me the last 3 years to actually regulate my nervous system enough for it to be safe for you to push me like this.
Yeah, it's having trust in the process, but also you knowing your body and me knowing your capabilities and your body. Like it's knowing when to pull back and then knowing when to push forward, And so like right now you'd be looking to pull back.
What are you talking about? I'm going to sparring in the morning.
No, but it's I guess, like you're on a learning curve as well. Like you trained your whole life and I'm on a learning curve with you knowing that you've been at the top level and how to handle that, not just physically, but also, mentally, your capacity of being able to just want to push. And I've learned a lot about how to handle people like yourself to say, hey, more is not always better. Like, let's tone it back a little bit. You know what I mean? So it's been a good little, after being in this for 20 years, I'm still learning as far as like yourself. Like you're a perfect example of what it's like to be able to gain by not doing as much. So
tell us a little bit about your story.
Which one?
The whole story.
Well, just from the start, just like how I got into this business with you or...
Tell me why you decided to come to Recovery Jungle. Tell me about that.
Well, how it started, I guess. Okay, so I'm in an airport waiting to get on an aeroplane. I got a message from this lady called Hannah from this Recovery Jungle that I haven't really heard of before. And I guess, willing to touch base about you guys needing a trainer. You explained a little bit about what you guys get up to. And I'm like, well, I'm right into this stuff, the mental side of things and recovery and sort of stories of redemption to try and get back to you know, everyone loves, or I know I love a story where, you know, the underdog takes the meat at the end of the day. So there's plenty of that happening at your place. And so when I landed in England, we FaceTimed.
We did.
You told me a lot about what was going on there, and I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah.
For sure. So probably because I feel comfortable with resonating with a lot of what you've got going on there.
What about it resonates?
I haven't gone through a little bit of ups and downs in my life. You know, like obviously being in the Bali bombs and stuff, you know, like being there as a young age and then making some huge mistakes, getting through that, you know, both overtraining, not training, getting into the drug aspect of things to destroy myself mentally, to then climb back.
Did the Bali bombings happen before or after you started doing training?
It happened. No, that would have been before.
So being in that level of trauma was the catalyst for you to go, I need to change my life?
No, I was so young at the time with not a lot of help around because, you know, back, what is it, 2002, like I was only just 18. So there wasn't a lot of, in a small country town, there's not a lot of, you know, knowledge of understanding of what it was like to be there from a professional perspective. So we didn't really get any help, which is probably the worst thing. So therefore it was all swept under the carpet. No one really spoke much of it from then on, not until 10 years later when shit started to hit the fan with me. But
so you were carrying that trauma for 10 years?
Well, in hindsight, not knowing it, of course. Like going back every year for an anniversary and having a fucking laugh about it. Like, what's the big deal? Well, it fucking is a big deal.
It's super interesting because how many people go through something like that and then compartmentalize?
Oh, mate, like I'm a guy's guy.
Yeah.
But I can tell you when I hear people, you know, that are in higher like sports athletes and stuff saying now, you know, to speak up if you're a guy, if you got shit going on. Yeah. I couldn't agree more. Yeah. Like not wasted, but there's a lot of things that I wasted time on that I could have progressed if I'd put it out on the table and spoken to people about it. But then again, having the people around you that you feel comfortable about speaking about too is also a huge thing. Huge. Yeah. Like to me, there's like the difference of saying something or not.
Yes.
You know, so
for someone to actually teach you that it's safe to say it and that they're going to hold it.
Exactly. You know, and I get that at the time and the place where I lived and that particular time of, you know, early 2000s, you know, compared to now, there's not a lot of talk back then about how do you, my son's 18, how do we address this, you know, as far as my parents are concerned. And I get it. Yeah. Not just them, but everyone. Like, fuck, what do we do? Nothing's ever happened like this before. How do you search for answers when there's nothing around?
It's interesting you say that. When I was 18, my boyfriend was killed in a car accident and the level of trauma that caused me without me knowing it. And I remember being taken out for lunch in this fancy restaurant eating soup. And I'm like, why are we here eating soup? Like this is not what I need. Like, I'm crying and I'm like, why isn't someone doing something about this? Like,
who were you with when that happened? Like having soup?
My dad.
There you go.
Right?
So that's the same sort of thing, right? It's like, fuck, how do we handle this?
Yeah, that no one knows.
Let's just make sure he's okay and try and get back into normal life.
Yeah.
And because
shove it down,
100%,
be happy, be happy, 100%. Be happy.
And that's no malice to them because
they didn't know.
Being now as a parent myself and old enough to have a child that was my age then, I'd go, well, back then, how else would you're in a town of 5,000 people in the country. Of course you don't have anything to say or do, you know, as far as offering help because you've got no fucking idea yourself, you know. So I get it. You know, this day and age, there's way more out there. And so you'd like to think that your kids are able to speak up more.
Look, it's an interesting thing with the parents and kids because I'm working with a client at the moment who the separation has been quite difficult.
Yeah.
And her kids are going through a lot and they're acting up and they've clearly been a little bit traumatized from the whole situation. Yeah. And it's like, make the kids behave. And what I'm trying to show her is that through her own vulnerability of sharing with them that she also have these feelings and it's actually okay to have these feelings and to help them be able to speak what's really going on underneath. Yeah. That's what will stop their behavior issues.
Yeah. If they're let in a little bit as to how and why and what's going on to a degree, I guess. It's
Yeah.
like,
Are you
instead of
feeling
just-
abandoned?
Yes.
Can we put some words to this?
Yeah, 100%.
You know?
It's a fine line. Like it's never been harder to be a parent. You know, and I get it.
You've experienced some of the alchemy stuff.
Yep.
How would you, if you had known about that kind of work then, how would that have helped you at that age?
Yeah. I mean, seeing it now, it's huge. Like I really rate it. I see how, like, obviously some clients are doing alchemy before our sessions and they're so much better for it, like in the gym. I guess, yeah, while there's always that trust factor as to listen to, you know, like I remember going to a psychologist for the first time and I didn't hold any trust in her. She didn't know what to say to what I was telling her. So therefore my wall was straight up.
Yes.
So it's about having the trust in the person that's given you the alchemy and actually buying right into it for it to make the biggest difference.
So 30% of success in therapy is actually the relationship that's built between the therapist and the client, right?
More.
So if there is no relationship and rapport being built there,
you're not going to get everything out of them.
It's just not going to
I'm
work.
surprised it's only 30.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's the same with me as a coach and my clients. Like, they're not going to listen to someone in a tough situation and adhere to what they say unless they respect them completely.
Yes.
So same sort of thing.
Yes.
100%. And even more so with alchemy because you're literally unraveling your heart in that moment.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, if you're willing to buy into that, the benefits behind that are huge.
Yeah, and it's actually the job of us to create so much safety.
100%.
So much, like the actual space holding, and I'm not going to project my shit onto you, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. This is just total.
Tell me things that you won't tell someone else, you know, like, and a lot of people don't, you know, and I think that's probably one of the biggest reasons as to why there are issues because people are too safe and are afraid of being judged to what might happen if they do come clean and speak what they should.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like we're not supposed to have these desires or wants or things that have happened to us. There's so much shame. Another one of our clients, actually, I was on the phone to her yesterday and she is nervous about coming in because everything's unraveled in her life because of the work we've done. It's great.
Yeah.
She's taken the steps that are going to make her life amazing, but she's sitting in the shame of like, I can't believe I let this happen.
Yeah. And that comes down to you being able to, I guess, take that on and how you, as in your instinctive-based training, how do you then tailor it to fit her? Do you know? So that's
safety. Whatever it is, it's okay. I've been there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not everyone's like that. You know, like your best friend might not be like that.
Often not.
You know what I mean? So, and people feel like they might get let down because they're giving everything to someone they trust in, and the return on their investment is that they're neither judged, shamed, or just used against them. Yeah. So the alchemy for me and what I'm finding with it, I wish we had that back when I was going through all of my crap. Yeah. But I couldn't speak highly enough. I see what it does to people.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what you think about the illusion people have with quick fixes, because we've done some shifts recently in the recovery jungle, taking away the fat freeze machine.
Yep.
What is your mindset around quick fixes and people wanting those?
They don't exist.
Yeah.
They don't exist. A quick fix is only going to be as quick of a fix then as what it takes to quickly get back to where you started. And it's funny that we're talking about this because I was having this conversation with Deegs yesterday in the gym about...
He was so happy.
Yeah, well, I could have, you know what I'm like, I could ramble for hours about this shit, but, you know, like he's got his goal and he's got his, you know, his heart set on it and he wants to do the 75 hard with this. And I made you're going to probably need 225 hard because what you're telling me...
Right.
Like, you know, you want to build up to that amount of weight.
Yeah.
And then, you can drop down 6 kilo and be lean, but...
What happens when you eat one bad thing?
Exactly. Yeah. So we need to just trick your mind into getting that 6 kilos, for example, might not be 6, but just trickle feed it back down. So then if you do have a blowout, your body has done enough work to recognize that, hey, it's not willing to throw it completely out.
It's such an interesting thing, right? And I still get stuck in the mindset because of the decade of weight cuts in fight camp.
Yeah.
And I know I can make my body completely transform in like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And so watching now, like it's been 3 years since I gave it up.
Yeah.
I've like slowly brought down all the weight, we're doing pretty well right now.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's taken 3 years because I had to undo an eating disorder.
Yeah.
And, running all these businesses but most of it is learning to trust that it can take a long time.
100%. If you want it done right and you want to maintain, it has to be done slowly and efficiently.
But it's so stuck in people's minds.
Because people want to get there fast.
Yeah.
They don't see the long-term goal. And I said to Deeks yesterday, I remember when I did bodybuilding, and the first time I did it, I cut right back down, and I thought it was a holiday the day after and the 2 days after. And then I put on like 13 kilos in 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah. And what that can do to you mentally, like I couldn't step back into the gym and train for like a year properly because I was so shamed at myself for everyone seeing me through the process, looking so good. And then because I dropped it in the wrong way too fast, I put it straight back on again.
I had the same thing when, I've started releasing these podcasts, like 3 or 4 weeks ago. And when I recorded them, the first ones, it was a year ago. And around that time, I was doing so much Malteser emotional support.
That's good at the time.
But because I was about to tell my parents about my whole story, and it was like there was stuff that was bubbling. And it was like the last hurrah. It was actually the last hurrah of the, starve binge thing that was going on. Once I let all that story out, it actually seemed to really dissipate.
Did you always think that there was an end game to that though? You knew that it was going to end with your binging? Like, did you have not a date set, but you're like, okay, I'm going to stop doing this shit as soon as I can tell my parents?
No, not at all. No? That was not in my head whatsoever. And to me, it was about learning how to eat enough food in the first place, actually making it safe. And I see this constantly. I didn't need to binge if I ate enough in the first place. And so because I was so scared of food, because I was told, there was sometimes I was on 800 calorie a day diets while I was running 20 Ks and training 2 hours at nighttime, right? Because my body was so stuck and starved and it just didn't want to let go. So I did stuff like that. Yeah. When that fight would be over, I'd be like, give me all the food, give me all the food.
So it's just yo-yo.
So it's like, but so I learnt that avocados would make me fat and butter would make me fat, and I, only eat this much, and how many calories have I had today? And so I would do so much restriction that as soon as friends came over or an emotional thing happened, it would be like, I need to have all of the things. And as soon as I ate enough, and it was actually really difficult because what I need as a human being is a lot of food. I have so much muscle on my body that it's actually an insane amount of food that I eat every day. I'm like, my breakfast is a steak and a burger patty and a bunch of eggs. It's insane. But if I don't do it, I'm so hungry that's when the stupid food happens.
Yeah, of course. And it's just those decisions of eating the right shit.
Yes.
But what comes with that is also having the education behind what's good and what's not. Yeah. Like, how many people destroy themselves to allow for their shit habits? Like, destroy themselves in the gym or training.
Okay, so that's bulimic energy, right? Yeah. So that's what I used to do. I ate a Mars bar, 20K run. You ate a banana you shouldn't have eaten, 20K
so it's
run.
Validation,
it's
right?
It's bulimic energy. Yeah. Because it's like, if I eat the food, I've got to get it out. Eat the food, got to get it. So when I was told actually to stop training, they like, no more cardio, your nervous system is fried, no more cardio. Yeah. So instead of eat, run, it was eat, spit it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the energy was still 100% there. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the education on, like, the next thing that happened was just, it makes me really angry actually. You see all these PTs and health people out there going, you can just eat all the processed things as long as you get your macros right. And I was told that and just ate, and I got inflamed and fat, and it was like, okay, well, now I can almost eat as much as I want so long as it's good quality red meat or white rice and potato, actual food.
Yeah, actual food.
Yeah.
I mean, it's made out to be so much more complicated than what it needs to be.
Yes.
It's because of all the options and the quick fixes and
the
time availability.
Yes.
It just sits on, where does it come down to being a priority on your list?
Yeah.
looking after yourself.
Because it's for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Like you're not doing this to do this by next week. It's for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And even I struggle with that sometimes. I want it to be by this holiday or by that podcast.
But you never stop.
Right?
You never stop.
So why can't we just turn that off in our head? Like I'm doing deep work with people around this. Like at what point, like how much do we actually have to do to undo this in the psyches of our culture?
Yeah.
That it doesn't actually matter how long it takes because it's going to be for the rest of your life anyway and days are going to go by anyway.
Yeah. And it's just the goalposts don't have to shift that much.
Yeah.
It's just they're still always going to be there.
Yeah.
So, no, I get it. And I think it happens more than what people do think. Like even people that don't know that that's what they're doing it.
Yeah.
I was bad for it. Destroy myself on the running track. To accommodate some of the shit habits.
When are you doing that second marathon?
Yeah, yeah, but now I'm I understand my body well enough to accommodate for that. Before it was about a mutilation.
So why do you run? What do you get out of running?
Just clarity. Clarity. It's my time. My wife Emily says you haven't run for a while, have you? You need to go and run. You're a better person for it.
I'm the same with fight training.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
I think it's when you can shift the reason of why you're doing it from punishment to joy.
Yeah, I do it for my head. Like I know that I'm a better person if I like Sunday I'll go for probably a 2 or 3 hour run. I know the day's going to be great.
Yeah.
Because I'm finished by the time everyone's up.
Yeah.
Then it's family time. I've got that self of accomplishment. It's done. I feel good. Start the day. This is just me. It's not everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah.
So for me, it makes and there is probably a little bit of self-validation in there too. You've done the work. Feel good about that.
So let's say someone comes in, right? So someone comes to you though, and they're like highly, highly, highly stressed out.
Yeah.
Are you prescribing a 2 or 3 hour run?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Like your neuro system can only take so much before it falls down. So highly strung, highly stressed. Yeah, you need a complete reset.
Yeah. So talk to me about this because we've been in a tangle a little bit about how much we actually do for people at the start and this slowing down at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Well, tell me what you think about this, like slow start.
Slow start. Well, you got to work out where your baseline is. Without knowing where that is, then how do you? It's like throwing a dart at a dartboard with a blindfold. You got to work out not just the training regime, but you need to work out your whole social aspect, your work aspect. And if you're willing to make training and a reset with your health a priority, you've got to look at that and sort of shift it up the scale of importance. I mean, how many people are in jobs now where it's all that's the number one thing, family second, training, if I get there, so it's like.
Well, I think also that comes because they think that if they're training, they have to do it an hour a day, 7 days a week. When actually, if you just did 20 minutes of lifting 3 times a week.
100%.
That would change your entire life.
No, 100%. And it's just, again, being educated,
Yeah.
To saying that the common knowledge of you need to be in the gym for an hour, 3-4 times a week to get a result. Well, that's crap.
Yes.
That's crap.
Absolute crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolute crap. It all works in with each other. Food, sleep, good family life, everything's a revolving door.
Yes.
So.
Well, it has to be all the things.
It has to be all the things.
Yeah.
You've got to give your undivided attention to yourself, your family, and your work. People look at training and go, well, that's an hour of training that I could be at work making $1,000. But how much more efficient at work would you be if you did train?
So much more efficient.
You know what I mean?
Like the blood flow to the brain that actually makes you think properly.
But to sleep, you sleep better.
Yes. And you live longer, so you get more years of working.
100%, which incline you'd like to think will make you have better food choices, which makes you feel
does,
better, which makes you be a better person, which makes you sleep better. So it's all that revolving door. But people are very hesitant to open it because they're used to their current routine.
So why do you think people sabotage when it starts to get uncomfortable?
Uncomfortable in
anything they're doing.
Anything. A feel good. Dopamine, feel good. Like, for me, I've been there. I've self-sabotaged to the highest level. And it was nothing other than a feel good. Everything else sucks. This is my only feel good. I deserve this. Fuck everyone else. That's how for me, that's the top level that I got.
That's super interesting. Me and Deegan talk about this of like, what do you deserve?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, sometimes I used to tell myself, like, I deserve this party, I deserve this cake, I deserve these snacks.
Yeah.
But he's like flipped it into like, I deserve to set myself up for the rest of my life. I deserve to have energy. I deserve to be healthy. So I'm not doing those things because I deserve way better than that.
Yeah. Do you think you have to have gone through a bit of crap to then come out the other side and say something like that? Or do you think it can happen off the bat? What do you think?
I think that would come to how much self-worth is built in childhood.
Yeah.
If you've grown up in a situation where your self-worth has been very healthily created, you're probably going to be in a place where you're like, I actually deserve these amazing things.
Yeah.
I think that I deserve this crap stuff is a little bit of rebellion.
Yeah.
And it's not actually self-worth.
Yeah. I think like for me, it's always a bit of a trade-off. Like if I do this, then I'll allow it for this to a degree. Like there's always a trade-off. You don't just keep taking. You've got to give at the same time to get the reward at the end. You know, a reward shouldn't happen without a little bit of sacrifice.
What's a reward?
Oh, anything. You know, a result in the gym, better sleep, better relationship with your family, your wife. You know, you're not
so reward doesn't mean I get to go to have pizza. It doesn't mean I get to, eat 3 blocks of chocolate. It doesn't mean I get to have a week off training.
100%. A reward, well, you can have your pizza if you've been watching your whole 12-week food program and it's time now that you've deserved it.
I bet you can't though. We had a pizza when we were in America a month ago and
It'll
it was
go
like
straight through you.
Oh my God, it was so sick. It was so bad. We're in this tiny little cabin and I was like, what?
That's when you and Deegs really started to know each other well.
But, it was amazing Italian. It was meant to be all the good ingredients, all the good things. And we're just so clean.
Yeah.
I was like, we just can't do it anymore.
And that's another thing is like...
It wasn't a reward at all.
Yeah, there you go. No, exactly. That's probably a bad example, pizza.
But what I'm saying is shifting the perspective on what a reward is. Because I see a lot of people going like, yeah, well, I've done all these good things, so I think I should get this.
Depends where your reward is chosen at as well. So what good things have you done? Does it match the reward that you're also wanting to achieve?
But if you're doing that as a reward, that's something that's actually hurting you. Are you actually rewarding yourself or are you just taking yourself a step back?
Yeah. Yeah, good point. Probably a step back. But at the same time, you shouldn't... I sort of look at the output. Don't do it for the reward. You can have a reward when you want, as long as your mindset is solely on the output.
And I think it's also knowing the rules. You can break the rules. You know, like I know that if I eat a whole massive amount of sugar-filled chocolate, I'm going to feel really amazing for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm going to feel really shitty and be a really big bitch the next day. My in-body scan is going to look like crap.
Yeah.
I might have a really good training session.
And you drink heaps of water.
I drink heaps of, but like, is that worth it? I know the rules of the game, right?
Yeah.
I'm making a conscious decision rather than blindly sabotaging because I'm feeling something I don't want to feel.
Yeah, and I think it comes with a little bit of wisdom as well. Like, for me, like my priority is to be a better husband, a better dad, and to be the best I can be at my job. Like I hold it that high. Like I really want to be the best at it and give myself every chance of being the best at it. So for me, the days of coming home in on a weeknight and just punching six beers because I've had a big day and I deserve it, well, that carries over into my next day. And I can't be the best that I can try to be at work. And not only that, I'm studying as well. So for me, it's like the goalposts have shifted a little bit. And Emily reckons I'm boring a little bit now, but that's fine. She takes a piss out of me of what I used to like to what I am. But my focus is to like constantly give myself the best chance that I'm able to, knowing that I've done everything in my availability right.
I wholeheartedly agree. I wholeheartedly agree. Like there is no way in hell I could be Recovery Jungle, Hannah Dalby coaching, Integral Alchemy, doing a podcast, all of going to training if I didn't do everything on point.
100%. And I'm not saying that you need to completely chop everything. Like I enjoy a beer. I really do. But I know where the right place and the right time is for it. You know, so it's like I know my body well enough now to know, hey, that's enough. You've got this on, and so on and so forth. So to me, my priority is getting better at those things I've mentioned, not being there in the moment as a quick fix to just play up.
So what's your experience then watching people like tap out of their progress just when they're about to break through?
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, I'd like to think it doesn't happen very often now, but yeah, it's heartbreaking because you can see the potential, but then again, you've got to also respect the fact that we only see them for the time that we see them, and so therefore, what goes on externally in their life, we have no control over. And while you try and give, and I know I do, I know you do, you can bring everything you got to the table. Ultimately, it's shattering when you want it a little bit more than what they do, because you can see them, you know, they're right on the path, and then they may have either an excuse or something actually go on in their life where it's cut them a bit short. And that can be the real tester for them mentally, because it can be a letdown for them as well. And now they're completely removed themselves from the thought process. So yeah, I think I carry emotion when it comes to that, because I'm fully bought into anyone I work with. So therefore, yeah, I don't like seeing anyone slip through the cracks. You know, when I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think sometimes people go to these, like you go to like boot camp or 6-week challenge, and it's like so like you're either in or you're out. You do not make a mistake. You be here twice a day. You get the food perfectly.
Yeah.
And that's when it gets really easy to be like, oh, I just go back to my normal life.
Yeah.
And it's really funny with addiction, because what these people are is addicted to food or their phones or, you know, escaping from their own selves, whatever it is. And if you just allow people to have a little bit of their vices while they're dealing with the internal stuff and not shame them for making mistakes.
100%.
It might take longer for them to get there, but at least they don't stop.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. And also, you know, everyone's goals aren't exactly maybe what you want their goals to be. So, for example, if they're doing a boot camp or a 6-week challenge, 12-week challenge, whatever it is, like for them, just being there and doing something rather than nothing and being around a group of like-minded people, for them, it's a win for them and they're happy with that. Whereas if I'm the coach and I'm not happy with that, driving that, you know, you've just turned someone away from, you know what I mean? So it's like knowing how to read people.
Not projecting your own shit onto 100%. someone.
100%. While I recommend, hey, I think you should work a little bit more on getting your glute activation going in your own time, or doing some stretching because it's going to physically help you. While that wasn't their goal at the start, you try and, you know, trickle feed that information into them. So they're still there, but they're just taking on board little things that you're saying. You're not telling someone that they have to stop smoking there and then after being
otherwise I won't care about you anymore or anything like that.
Exactly. So.
Yeah. It's I won't say who, but there's someone that's close in my life, and for the first time in his life, after probably about a 25-year drug addiction, just gave it up.
Yep.
And he was asked why.
Yep.
And the answer was, well, because you guys were loving me if I stopped or if I didn't.
Yeah, perfect.
And every moment before that, you were only allowing me any love so long as I stopped.
Yeah.
So as soon as it's allowed, then it's like, oh, I just wanted love and you weren't giving it to me, so I was fighting against you.
Yeah.
And now that it's just allowed to be here no matter what, then I don't actually need this.
Yeah. Well, they've obviously built the trust, and they value your input so much that it's like, hey, this now becomes my priority. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's just not the pressure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they're not hiding the secret anymore.
Yes.
You know, so they're
or feeling the shame or the guilt or all of these things that like, oh, I did it again. It's like, I mean, I'm watching my journey. I remember like learning how to meditate while I'm like taking hard drugs. I'm high as hell. Like, yes, I'm doing and learning all of this stuff. But by the time I was ready to give it up, I had so many tools ready to go. If someone had taken that away from me way before, I would have been like lost. you know?
Yeah.
So I think that giving people space to hold on to things, and it doesn't need to be, 0 to 100 in one day.
Yeah, totally.
It's undoing everything and learning
But also,
skills. And,
the shame of it as well.
Yeah.
I carried a lot of shame for a long time, and happy to talk about it all now. But it's like, if only I had confided in someone, or to be able to let it all out and not be criticised or judged, then it wouldn't have probably gone on for as long as it did. So that's a great win for you with that person that that's really good. That's
it's powerful. Hey, it's not even that there needs to be deep therapy in some cases. It's just, can you listen to me without judgment?
Totally. But then again, they make the decision whether or not you're worthy to be a listener, and that and that's a big part of it too. Like, am I going to open right up to this person?
That's a skill.
Yeah. It is.
That's a skill to hold safe space and not project.
Yeah.
I think is a skill that everyone should learn.
100%. And I think the more you've fucked up in your life, the more you're willing to sit down and listen to anyone's story without having a judgment, because you think of some of the times where you've been, you're like, this is easy to hear.
Well, I think also, you do so many amazing things in your life. I watch it all the time and suddenly think, I was this. I've got all the answers, so I'm going to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
And it's like, can you just shut up for a minute and listen and let someone else just have their experience?
Yeah.
And okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to strength training then.
Yep.
Tell me about how lifting weights helps the nervous system.
Well, what it can do is shoot your nervous system to the ground if it's not done right. And, it's a calculated thing, because while it can really be a benefit to your neurological system, all your neuro pathways to your muscles, is obviously you want everything working in that area as much as it can be perfected. If it's already been flogged and you're continuing to flog it, you're not just going to get a muscle injury or a joint injury. You're going to start to get really sick. And, when it's done right and the body's completely rested, and it's all about timing, isn't it? Like we've spoken about, good sleep, good food. You'll be at your optimal. I didn't go to school past your 10.
You still made it.
Still made it. You'll be at your most optimal to perform with the greatest amount of return on strength training.
Yeah.
When you're completely rested and you're feeding your body the right foods, the right sleep, all the above. Mm-hmm. But if you're a businessman that's working 12 to 18 hours every single day, rushed, no routine outside of your work, and you're going to try and attempt to do strength training from a YouTube video that your mate sent you, that's when you're going to absolutely fall down the stairs. So I guess for me, it's just recovery. Recovery is everything. If you want your best out of your strength training, you've got to accompany that with good recovery. So
2 days, 3 days, 6 days, 7 days.
Look, there's so many variables with it. It depends on what your goal is. Obviously, what you want to try and train, and I'll use digs as an example here. So, there's different ways that you can weight train. Obviously, what time do you have to accommodate for that? And there's no reason why you can't train a muscle group every other day, providing you're not hitting it back to back.
Providing you're sleeping well.
Providing that you're sleeping well, 100%. Yeah. If you need to be doing your 8 hours sleep. Everything in your life must be crispy, for that to happen. But there's no reason, like myself, I only train probably twice a week in the gym, weights, and that's just a bit of an all-over circuit. If I get 30 minutes, great, twice a week.
So why is it important for every single person to do some capacity of it?
Different reasons. For me, my number one reason would be for mental health. That's, for me, is where it all starts. Having control over your mind. And then what comes physically with that is obviously strong bones, strong muscles, a body that moves and flexes well. That's pretty important to me as well. We all want to live on this earth for as long as we can, doing whatever we want.
That's right, though, right? It's I think that's so much part of why I do it.
Yeah.
I really want a nice butt. That's probably the number one reason.
Yeah, cosmetic.
I'm vain as hell.
Yeah. I couldn't tell. Yeah, but that's your goal.
Yes, but also there is something that happens in my system where my brain functions better.
Yeah.
I sleep better. It's like I'm stronger as I move around in the world. Like I get less aches and pains. My back hurts less.
100%.
Like all of these magical things happen because of it.
Yeah.
And I want to do this stuff till I'm like 100 and something, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to, we're losing 5% of our muscle mass every decade.
Yeah.
I don't want to be 90 and like have no muscle left.
No, 100%. And I'll veer away from what I've said about why you should strength train too. So then you've got like medically.
Yes.
The benefits behind that. So at the moment, I'm training a 90-year-old.
Yeah.
He's literally 90 years old.
That's cool.
And he's not doing it to get a big butt.
Yeah.
He's not doing it for anything other
I'm
than
going to question him about
every
that.
time he trains, he thinks it's going to add a week to his life.
Yeah.
Because he values his life.
Yeah.
And so getting him to just try and get stronger to walk up the stairs, him going out for dinner with his family, getting up and down of a chair. You know, to me, they're the big things. You know, he wants to live longer and do normal things for as long as he can.
Yeah.
I've got a lady I've had for nearly 20 years now, and she had chronic fatigue, no longer.
Yeah.
Had 2 knee replacements, had a triple bypass. She doesn't give a shit about having a strong or having a nice back or a flat tummy. She knows it's benefits of making her move well and live longer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there's that aspect too, I guess. So I'm big, for me, everyone's different, but like in her mindset, she's doing it for her well-being in her body for her to actually move for longer and better. For me, I'm doing it for my mental health. So for you, you're doing it for your ass. You know,
but it is that, and it's also my brain. Like I am the computer at 3 a.m. in the morning, and I sometimes leave work at 5 p.m., which is cool.
Yeah.
It's like I've put myself into a place where my nervous system can handle that much output.
Yes.
I haven't been, like it took a while to bring me to that place,
you
right?
know yourself now.
But if I didn't do, like I did it when we were away and I didn't do the weightlifting, I can feel the like, it doesn't quite tick properly. It doesn't quite function. Yeah. The neurons aren't doing.
Do you find when you're training, like, I mean, you're big on leg work, and I've started to really incorporate a lot more into my training purely just for the running aspect. But man, when I'm running, or even when I'm walking, I can feel like
if you haven't
mechanically, like my back, I've got no disc in my L5. I had problems with it for years, but just working on that posterior chain for me, I feel like I've got, and I was only talking to another trainer about this morning about, I don't know, you can't explain it, just how it feels. Everything just moves better.
Yeah.
You know, everything feels like it's a bit more structured.
What about Kiri, right? Like lower back pain for God knows how long, does 3 weeks with you and now no lower back pain. Like the strength training actually solves the issues.
It does. And it's like, hey, take this magic pill on current affair, it fixes back pain. No, you just need a red band, a hip flexor stretch and a glute buy-in, and you know, you'll find if you do that enough, that lower back pain, shit, I don't have that like I used to.
Yeah.
You know?
Because like we're sitting so much, right?
Yeah.
So this whole thing that happened to me with my hip flexors being stuck on.
Yeah.
Because I'm sitting so much and everyone is sitting so much.
So much.
The answer to it is go lift some weights.
Yeah. Yeah. Go lift some weights, but focus on things that are going to help you and prevent. I mean, for me, lower back pain, it's the most common thing I come across with most people. Any sore spots? Yeah, my lower back. Okay, well then the go-to is obviously psoas, hip flexors. How are your glutes? No, glutes don't actually exist, but my knees are always sore because my quads are always on. You know, so these are just small things that, and that's another aspect of the weight training.
So tell me about, because we get like all these women coming in, right? Well, I don't want to lift weights.
Yeah.
But they've come in for weight loss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Explain to me why that's so important for women and why they don't need to be scared about it.
I mean, because again, it's what's perceived, isn't it? You know, so I have very many times had women that I've trained where they've done really well with their food that they've stuck to, and they're getting a little bit leaner, and they're starting to see some muscle, and it's freaking them out. They're getting too big. No, they're not getting big. It's just, you know, they're cutting back and they're getting stronger, and they're seeing a result that they've never really had before. Now, why the women shouldn't get freaked out at the jungle by doing weights is because they get to see me. No, but I guess the weight training for me at the jungle is just, honestly, it's just the icing on a cake. Like it's such a minute part of the whole process. And I can't say that the success of anyone I've worked with at the jungle so far is based on what I've been doing. It's such a complementary aspect of everything else that gets fed into that. So when you come to the jungle, you don't just have your training. You've already done your alchemy. You finish your training. You're going to go straight into the sauna. You're then going to go into a cryo, and then you're going to recover in the recovery boots and just chill right out. Like that whole aspect.
It is quite amazing. I love the system that it's ended up being.
Yeah, like it works perfectly. Training's, the training's got nothing really as a standout to it. It just feeds into the whole process.
Yeah. And it does need to be everything, like that synergistic.
Yeah.
You can't just train and then not do everything else and expect results. You can't just get your food right and then not do anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a client at the moment who she dropped a whole bunch of weight really quickly, like 12 kilos in like a month.
Yeah.
And then she got stuck.
Yeah.
And in diving into it, it actually wasn't safe for her to feel really amazing in her body because of trauma. It was actually unsafe for her to look really amazing.
Yeah.
So, sometimes we're protecting ourselves. Sometimes we don't want to be seen. And so, and like trauma is stuck in our fat cells. So if that part is not done and you're like banging your head against it, all like, why can't I get anywhere? Well, what are you still holding on to?
Yeah.
So, but you can't just do that either and then eat shit and not move.
No.
That's probably not going to work very well either.
No, absolutely not.
So like bringing them all together and at the same time in the same place where you've got community and you're being held, it is magic.
No, it really is.
And anything we throw it at, it solves it.
Well, I've never heard of anywhere that does the whole thing like that.
It hasn't happened.
So to me, it's like, if it doesn't work on my own, I'll blame someone else. No, not at all. It's, I think the order that you've got it in is perfect. And that's not to mention the nutrition consult side of things on the outside. You've got your measuring.
Yeah, doing the in-body scan so we can actually track. I mean, how cool is it that we can see, hey, this client's legs muscles are not growing or we're getting less, like we need to do something with food here.
Yeah, it's instant data.
And instant data.
Instant data, yeah. And it helps me out a lot.
Yeah.
So, no, I think it's...
and then it actually becomes less about the number on the scale as well.
Oh, 100, yeah.
Because, they start to forget about the number on the scale because they're like, oh, well, I lost all this fat. Oh, what I put on this muscle. Or my legs are getting strong.
And whereabouts they lost it too, No, it's important. I think the system there is fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
No, it is. It really is. It really is.
Well, but I appreciate it for you as well because, you've been with us for 6 or 8 months or something like that.
Was it October last year?
Okay, a while.
November,
all right, maybe
probably.
nearly a year, huh?
Yeah.
No wonder. No wonder I'm getting a few extra greys.
Yeah, I've nearly lost all of mine.
But, as we've learned and grown together to build this, what it is now, it is such an amazing system. And it doesn't matter what people come in with. They come in and they're drinking too much. They've got an inflammatory disorder.
Yeah.
They want to lose weight. Whatever's going on,
we can
throw it at it.
Yeah.
Magic.
Yeah.
Every single time.
No, it is. And I guess it comes down to like you now knowing how I operate as a person.
Yeah.
And vice versa. It's like it's a good team.
Yeah.
We know sort of, and the communication is everything with coaches. Like. Got to be on the same page with everything.
Well, that's right. And if you're like going to see a PT over here and a nutritionist over here and then someone over here and everyone's telling you different things, at least we're like, we're actually coming up with plans for people together.
If you're out there and you're working with a professional on one side of the scale and liaising with another one and they're not connecting, then that's a big fucking problem.
Yeah.
That's a big problem. Like for your best interest to achieve a goal, whether it be a rehab or a physical goal, you've got to have a circle of people around you that are all communicating, that have your best interest at heart, not just taking a little bit out of their...
What's good for them.
100%.
Yeah. So what do you think makes Recovery Jungle different from other gyms, recovery centres, stuff like that?
I think, it's a one-stop shop, isn't it? Like that does help. Especially when you've got clients that are flying in from wherever they are flying in from, making their own journey. It happens a lot, eh? It does happen.
Yeah.
Happens a lot. So when you've got people making the trip, and they can just be in the one spot and they don't have to zap off to here. And I think like for me, if it wasn't all in the one house, like, yeah, I'll go and book that cryo or
They're
a
not
massage
gonna.
next week. Can't do it this week. You know,
Oh, that's
it's
the
all-
accountability and support. Like, we'll just get it all sorted
Get it all
out
sorted.
for you.
It's all there, you know.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, I've been doing my job for 20 years. I'd want to know what I'm doing. So I think having me there in my field, you know, I'm only going to benefit anyone that comes near me with the knowledge that I have, and same with you.
Yeah.
You know, like, you've been there and you've done it. You've got a lot of background knowledge of all of this stuff, and you are constantly researching, constantly trying to get better. So, you know, you're always hassling other coaches to get information as to what, you know. So anyone that comes to the jungle, they're giving themselves the best chance of having people around them that have been there and done it for a long time.
I mean, just getting a soda in your life, right?
Mate, I've been sucking on the soda all morning. What's in here? Strawberry snow.
So Scott comes to me going, my calves are so
Cramping
sore,
up,
they're
yeah.
so crampy, oh my God. And I'm like, try some salt, bro.
I didn't know you could get salt in, like, flavours.
So we're not endorsing or anything. I have no connection to them whatsoever, but the sody sachets
Oh, they're unreal.
change every single person's
Yeah.
life because we have mineral deficiency because we have been told salt is bad.
Yeah.
So it's like, don't put too much salt on your food.
I'm actually, like, burning so much and sweating so much with training and marathon training that when you said to me about that, and I should be wiser for this because I just didn't even think of it. I don't really have much salt in my diet unless it's salt and vinegar chips. But, you know, it's not. I don't have anywhere near the amount of what I obviously should be. And so since I've been having those, I haven't had any dramas.
Well, you think about it, you need 2,000 milligrams of sodium a day for your brain to function if you do nothing.
So to give people an idea, so if you got a teaspoon,
A couple teaspoons a day.
okay.
Without sweating.
There you go.
Yeah.
So how many people are deficient in that?
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
You know, so
And then, like, if you're having a sauna, are you running? Are you sweating? Are you, like, what else? Are you on a detox? Like, the sodium actually helps open up your detox pathways as well. So if you're sick or you're, like, taking something that's helping you to detox something, or you're doing alchemy work and stuff's trying to leave your system, salt opens the detox pathways.
think like where we live on the sunny coast. I mean, how many people, fitness as now at all-time high here, like everywhere. So if you're listening to this and you are one of those people that are training a lot on the sunny coast, no matter what it is, start looking into your salt intake because for me it really helped.
Well, look, and there's potassium in it as well, right? And people don't think about that. Like, it's the full minerals.
Yeah.
How much, and I still supplement a lot of magnesium on top of that.
Yeah.
Because my body just needs that much of it.
Yeah.
How much stress I have in my day, how much all of these things, how much I sweat, like how much I got punched in the face for 10 years.
Yeah, well, you might need a scan on that, mate. Yeah.
So what's your perspective on watching people actually get results in the jungle? Like, what's that experience been like?
Yeah, it's very rewarding. Like, I love seeing people, I mean, getting a result anywhere for me, like seeing someone that I've had to play a little like part in their journey and seeing them do well. Yeah, it's extremely motivating, you know.
What are the results that you see that aren't physical?
Oh, the change of people's character. You know, that to me, I think, and again, I'll go back to the mental health sort of things and the mental side. Like, to me, the number one joy I get is seeing someone's character and their personality completely change, and they don't see it.
They're coming home to themselves.
That they've worked out who they are.
Yes.
They're confident.
Yes.
And they haven't been able to see that, or they're still focused on the physical.
Yes.
But to see how they've changed mentally is just a joy for me to see. You know.
And I think that that's really important. Is like, we're actually not here to build you six packs. We're here to help you come home to yourself.
Yeah, 100%. And, you know, people's decision making when they're more confident and their personalities change for the better and they're opened up and they carry themselves in a different way, the way that they operate outside in everyday life, they don't even see it, but it's different.
Yeah. That's where the magic is.
100%
That's what's important.
Yeah.
And the rest of it will come naturally over their life anyway.
The six-pack can come when they choose to make it come, but they can now believe that it's able to be.
They can believe that it's able to happen without starvation, without overtraining, without all of these quick fix bullshit things.
Yeah.
And often it's like, well, you know, I've dropped this much weight and I'm feeling amazing in myself and I've quit the shitty job that I hated and I've started a new relationship and I'm going to do this business thing. And it turns out that my, you know, a whole new friend circle needs to come in and I love who I am.
Yeah, totally. To me, I love seeing people's physical change.
Yeah. That's
great. But the mental to me is where it's at.
Yeah.
100%.
Beautiful.
Because, you know, your physical is only run by your mental.
Yes. Inside out.
Write that down backwards.
All right. Anything else?
No. I mean, there's heaps we could sit on. You know, I'll talk underwater. But no, at the moment, no, that's great. I think everything we sort of covered today, it's
How excited are you about what we're doing in the future?
Oh, extremely excited. You know, that's why I'm really dedicated to be a part of this. Like I know, I see the people that come in and I see parts of myself in them, you know, and I think, you know, I can help these people, you know, or at least I can give myself the best chance to try and help them, you know. So I walk out a better person when I'm, you know, training people at the jungle. Yeah. Everyone's got a story. It's a unique place.
Deb always says, I've never worked at a place like this.
No,
oh my God.
No.
And I guess that's my intention in it is, can we actually change the way that burnout, addiction, stress, mental health, all of that stuff that is so prevalent with our leaders in the world? Because if we can get leadership and the people running things to do it right, everything starts to change.
100%.
And the whole culture is just so burnt out and there is nothing that's actually working.
Yeah. On a side note to that, I used to train a very, very high up person in the dominoes factor. And I won't say his name or the position he had, but this guy worked his ring out. He held very high amounts of responsibility. And, you know, training for him in the morning was an absolute no-brainer. Like it's non-negotiable. It happens at like brushing your teeth. Yeah, so he's a leader at the top of his game. How many other leaders in their game? You don't see it on YouTube or on Facebook but what these top level, you know, CEOs and stuff like that are doing, they're not just kicking back on a computer all the time. They're ice bathing, they're saunaing, they're training, they're eating right, they're sleeping well, but they're still able to get the amount of quality work done in work time because they're doing all the shit on the outside. Because they're doing all that.
And that's the difference. The top 1% of people doing anything are doing everything.
Yes. Yeah, totally. And they're able to.
Yeah.
Do you think Elon Musk trains? Of course
100%.
Of course he does. Of course he does.
Yeah.
You know? And so he's the busiest man in the world.
Yeah.
So, well, you know, his decision making is meant to be the best anyway. But no, I'm really, really stoked with how everything's going. I'm excited for what's to come. Meeting, you know, I love meeting new people. So for me, being at the jungle and just being influxed with all these new types of, and I'll underline types of people, you know, everyone's got their story, everyone's got a background, everyone's there because they are buying into wanting to get better. So let's help them.
So what would you say to someone that's been watching us for a while and sitting on the fence about jumping into something so big?
Take that, because what you've currently been doing, it's costing you time and money and you're not getting anywhere. Take the same time and the same money and put it into this and you will not walk out worse or for wear. Yeah. Can guarantee that. Yeah, it can be a bit confronting because it means that you're going to change your whole life with
you're going to have to look at yourself.
You're going to have to look at yourself, but you got to understand that you're going to be jumping in and on board to a team of people that
will hold you.
That hold you and get you in a way better place than where you are currently. Yeah. For sure. Beautiful.
Well, that was amazing.
It's been good.
Thanks, bro.
Easy as, bro. Can you not call me brah?
Why, brah?
Call me brah.
Brah. We go brah.